This is going to be a review on Lilith, Sheba, Babalon'S business called Divine Lady Magic. I was going to hold my peace up until I continued to see her write essays about me in the comment section on Facebook, being rude, being disrespectful, being defensive, even though I've been nothing but completely respectful to her. So now I have to say something, because you really are trying to make me look bad, and I'm not going to let you do that. So before I get to telling you guys about how Lilith tried to argue with me, and how she was like writing all these things which I felt were pretty disrespectful, I want to give my review about what it was like being in her private Facebook group. And I think this will help other people to decide whether or not they would like to be in the group, right? I think reviews are very powerful. It gives you an idea of who you are dealing with, who you are doing business with, and it gives you an idea of what the quality of the service or product will be like. So I was a member of Lilith's private Facebook group for 10 months, but in order to get access to that private Facebook group, you have to complete her 3-day book club, and she tells you guys that on her public TikTok page. So I'm going to show you the receipts of my purchase of her $400 book club, which would then give you access to her private Facebook group once you complete it. So I finished the book club. I got access to her private Facebook group. However, there was a disclaimer that I had to pay $55 a month to continue to be a part of her private Facebook group. I'm going to show you the disclaimer that she put that states that. So you'll be seeing receipts of my card being charged $55 a month as well. I'm not making this stuff up. And however she wants to run her business is how she wants to run it. That's what I was thinking at first. But looking back, I realized that that wasn't even worth it. So during the 3-day book club, we never discussed the book. The purpose of a book club, by the way, is to discuss a book that you are reading as a group. However, we never did that. And it's unfortunate because if we did discuss the book that we were reading, we would have gotten so many gems, right? It was actually a good book. But it was just a bunch of women gossiping for a very long time, and some of them spoke about their personal life. I didn't get to speak that much. I actually felt rushed at one point when I did speak. But I thought to myself, you know what? I'm probably going to gain a lot more from her private Facebook group. And it'll be way better. Before I continue, I want to show you the book that we read. So now you know what the book club was like, and you know what book we read. I felt like it wasn't worth it. I didn't get what I paid for. The book club was $400. That's not cheap. So looking back, it was a waste. Let's talk about what it was like being in her private Facebook group, because that was a waste too. She was barely active. People join her private Facebook group so they can continue to see her teach, and she teaches things that she doesn't post on her public page. However, she was barely active. It was dead in there, and it was just more gossip. I'm not going to talk about like what the girls wrote. That's their business. I just want to show you that it wasn't worth it, because she's not giving you what you paid for, right? You're in the private Facebook group so you can continue to hear her teach and you can apply the information, but she was barely active. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't apply the old information that she had, but again, she was barely active. It was dead. It wasn't worth it. And I was paying $55 a month to be in there. That's not cheap. And there's nothing wrong with women connecting and sharing their experiences. I think that that's fine. But let's keep the main thing the main thing. People are there to continue to hear you teach valuable information. They want to continue to see what you do on your public page in the private Facebook group. And it wasn't that. You barely posted. So you can see in the screenshots that I showed you that she's not consistent with posting. And we sometimes don't hear from her for almost a month. And what's sending me is that you're more active on your public page where people get to see your content for free than in your private Facebook group where people are paying to be there. That sends me. And I'm going to keep it respectful, even though Lilith has been disrespectful, and just cover up the content that she considers private. You want to see that content, then you got to earn your way in that space. I'm just here to give you an overall review. It's a part of business, and good luck. And I want to add that in the last screenshot that I showed you, she posted on March 8th, and then her recent post was April 3rd or 4th. We ain't heard from you in a minute. Welcome back. Would have been nice to hear from you consistently. So I want to talk about the communication between Lilith. That was poor. I remember I got locked out of my account that's on her website, and you'll be able to see all of your orders. You'll be able to control your subscription for the private Facebook group. So I had to email her, a couple of times, and she didn't get back to me. The only time she got back to me was when I went into the private Facebook group. I clicked on a post of hers and then wrote her in the comments, right? So everybody saw what I was asking her, which I felt was just, there's no privacy in that. Everybody can see what I'm emailing you. I'd like to email you about things concerning me personally without anybody having to see it. So I want to show you screenshots of that too. So I also want to add, the dangerous thing about not being able to get access to your account on her website is you're not able to cancel a subscription or change your card in order to continue paying for a subscription. So let's just say you got locked out of your account and you plan on pausing your subscription. You can't do that. So your card would be constantly getting charged over and over and over and over again. And you may have to pause your subscription because you have other financial obligations. So you don't want to play with that, right? Make sure people have access to their accounts where they can control their subscription. Make sure they have access to that, because that's nothing to play with. And you could even see in the stuff that I'm writing her that I'm being really kind, I'm being really respectful, and that she's just being very dry and bland and right? It's unfortunate because you're talking to somebody who supports you. I'm not like the people in the comment section of your public page on TikTok who go, yes, sis, yes, right? But have no plans on investing in your business, right? I'm not one of them. And, I just think the respectful thing to do when you're talking to someone who invests in your business, who is your customer, right? A loyal customer, is to act like you care, right? Show some respect. Do participate in the formalities, right? Thanks. Have a great night. Good afternoon. Good evening. Respond, right? You can see that there's triple comments from me, and she's not replying. Disrespectful. So now let's get to the part that we've all been waiting for. The part where Lilith was trying to argue with me, okay? So 2 days ago, I go on my TikTok account labeled Miss Cabernet, right? That's a nickname that I got from a few friends. But it's named Miss Cabernet, and I was just going to look at her page and see what she posted on her public TikTok page. I couldn't see it anymore. I couldn't see it at all. So I try to search her up in the search bar. I still couldn't see it. And then I go to the sections. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But there's a section on TikTok where you can save videos. Everybody has the right to do this, right? So we're not downloading apps in order to save your video and then post it somewhere else. It is available to everybody on TikTok. I'm going to show you that now, what I'm talking about. You're going to see it circled. When I looked in those two sections, I didn't see her video popped up. It was unavailable. So I'm thinking to myself, is it possible that I could have been blocked? You know, she's known for blocking people who apparently speak out of turn. I've never said anything that was disrespectful to her. And on that account, I don't ever really comment. The last comment that I posted was about her and Princella the Queenmaker. And I said, I'm ready for your live, beautiful. And then I also commented on my reaction after watching the live. And I said, it was so informative. Love you guys deep. I was just showing love, right? That was the last thing I commented. So I'm confused as to why I can't see her account, or as to why I may have possibly been blocked. So the smart thing to do is to ask and to bring it up. I'm not coming at her from the space of, did you block me? But I'm just bringing it up to her to see, like, oh my goodness, I can't see your account anymore. Could it have been that I've been blocked? If so, why? I've been nothing but supportive. Before I show you guys the screenshot in it, you're going to see that I was telling her it was hard to communicate with her through email. I wanted to talk to her about a few things privately. And what I wanted to talk to her about was mentorship. And so I'm going to show you what I emailed her privately, right? That's what I'm referring to in that comment where I said, I'm trying to email you about a few things. I had a couple questions about mentorship and the process of receiving her mentorship. So I'm going to show you a screenshot of that. So I showed you the email where I mentioned what I wanted to speak about with her privately. And it was about mentorship, which has nothing to do with anybody in the group. So I have every right to email you about that. I don't feel like I have to write that in the comment section of the Facebook group that everybody can see. But she didn't get back to me. So I had to write her on the private Facebook group, and you're going to see the whole entire argument that she tried to have with me. And I've been nothing but respectful. It got to a point where I stopped responding to her because I said to myself, I'm too grown to be arguing with you, and you're not going to continue to disrespect me when I've invested over $1,000 in you, and I'm not doing that. I'm not going to argue with you, right? So I stopped responding. And so after I stopped responding, she continued to write essays about me in the comment section, and you're going to see that. You're going to see these essays, and you're not going to see a response from me because I'm not going to argue with her. I said what I said, right? I didn't do anything to get blocked from seeing your account. I didn't come at you disrespectfully. I wasn't trying to be accusatory. I was just asking you a question, rather, or just bringing it up, right? I don't know what's going on if I don't bring it up to you. Okay, so wait, before you continue reading, I just want to say there was a part where she discussed the purpose of being in this group. I thought to myself, what does that have to do with anything? I never asked you about what the purpose of this group was. So I don't know why you're bringing that up. That has nothing to do with what I reached out to you for. Not only that, but there have been people in her Instagram live that were able to email her about things that were brief. They didn't have to get a personal session with her. And these are people that are not even in her offline space that you have to pay to be in. I was in her offline space that I had to pay to be in. But yeah, I got to book a $500 to $800 personal session to ask you about something that's brief. That's insane. So there was another part where she was like, I already gave you a pass for ripping my video off the internet and downloading it into the private Facebook group. I never knew that was something that we couldn't do. When you go into her rules in the private Facebook group, she never mentions that. The only thing that I saw was that you can't share videos outside of the group. So if we can't post your videos inside of the private Facebook group, say that then, right? You're all about communication. Communicate. Tell me that. If that's something that I can't do, I won't do it. You're acting like I knew that I couldn't do it and did it anyway. I also want to show you all the things that I've ever posted in the private Facebook group. These are things that I wrote, right? These are my posts. So I'm going to show you what I wrote, that I didn't make it a habit to post her videos and post it in the group, because she mentioned that she had a problem with that, even though I didn't know she did. But I'm going to show you that I never made that a habit. I'm going to show you. Here it is. So I'm going to let you guys continue reading the thread. But you're going to see that there is a point where I stopped answering back to her. Like, the last thing that I said was, I'm being honest. And it's because I was being honest. And that was it. Like, I completely, like, closed the app, and I was just carrying on with my business. So I stopped responding, right? The next day, I wake up and I see notifications popping up on my phone from Lilith, and it's about me. So I'm thinking to myself, so she's still rambling. So she's still on this. Why are you still talking about this? I already ended the conversation, and the last thing I said was, I'm being honest. You guys can go back to that screenshot where I said the last thing, which was, I'm being honest. I'm just thinking to myself, why are you still talking? Like, are you done? Are you done? I said what I said. I'm not going to argue and go back and forth with you. There's no point. I'm not getting anything out of going back and forth with you, right? Whatever you choose to do is what you choose to do. You can keep me blocked from seeing your account. You apparently don't know why I'm blocked from seeing your account. So I don't know what to do at this point, right? None of us know why I am blocked from seeing your account. So let's just end it there. You're not doing anything to fix it. And the comments that I didn't realize she wrote until the next day were the last two screenshots that I provided you. I think the last thing that she said in there was, and now I'm beginning to believe. That and the other comment that she left, I didn't realize that she wrote that until the next day. So that's why I'm thinking, like, why are you still rambling? I'm done with you. I also saw that she subbed me on her public Facebook page. And the reason why I know that is because I follow her. And I saw the post pop up on my feed. And so I'm thinking to myself, so not only are you popping it in the comment section in the private Facebook group, but you're also popping it on your public Facebook page. At this point, I was like, now I'm going to say something, right? Because during that whole time that I spoke to you, right, I've been nothing but respectful. And during the whole time that I've been dealing with you, I've been nothing but respectful. But you're going to stop disrespecting me. Right? So that's when I finally said something. I finally decided to get a little petty back. Right? I want to show you the Facebook post where she was subbing me. And one of them, she was just like, imagine letting a woman bully you. And she was really talking about a post that I had made in the private Facebook group about living unapologetically. And the risk that comes with that is that people will try to bully you out of doing so, right? That is true. You'll see people be who they really are and live the life that they want to live, and people will be judging them. And that can make somebody want to hide. That can make somebody break down, right? So I don't understand why you're acting like living unapologetically and being yourself is something that's easy to do. Imagine letting a woman bully you. Well, you let women bully you. So I responded to all of her 10-page essays and her weak subs that she was posting about me with this. So you saw what I responded to her with. And then she goes, pardon? What essay was about you? So you don't remember what you wrote me in the comment section on your private Facebook group, and you're not remembering what you're writing on your public Facebook page? That's the essay that I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you the very last thing I wrote her, and it was this. So in that last screenshot that I showed you, I basically was talking about how I was removed from the group. And then she comments why I was removed from the group, even though I don't think that's why. And then she was getting ready to type more stuff because I saw 3 bubbles at the bottom of the post, and I blocked her midway. Yeah, so Lilith was crashing out in the comments section, so I had to remove her from my space. So overall, you can see that she can't control her emotions, because look at how she reacted to me when I respectfully brought up that I was blocked from seeing her account. I wasn't trying to be accusatory. I wasn't coming at her in a disrespectful way, but look at how she responded to me. She kept bringing up things that I didn't say, mentioning things that were irrelevant. She's extremely defensive. It almost seems like she has like a scared mind. That's an issue. But look at everything I showed you. Does it look like she can control her emotions? Does it look like she can effectively communicate? Does it look like she can infer? Does it look like she can do that? You know, like if you look at what I wrote her in the private Facebook group, you guys can tell that I'm not trying to argue with her. I'm not trying to argue with you, baby. I'm not. I was just trying to walk away, take the high road and let it go. But you kept going and going and going. And at some point I had to say something because it was just getting out of hand. Like, it's really not that deep, Lilith. It's not. I think that you need to relax. I think that you have a problem with that, right? You're always anxious. And it seems like she was coming from a space where everyone is always out to get her, or everyone is trying to be malicious and deceptive. And it's like, relax. It just seems like you're better off consuming the content from her public TikTok page, because she's more active on there. The videos on there that she's posting should be behind a paywall, but are not. And, you know, it wasn't worth paying $400 for her book club on top of $55 to be a part of her private Facebook group. $55 a month. But, you know, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't. So I'm warning you, think twice. So the purpose of this overall video was to review Lilith's book club in her private Facebook group, but to also tell you guys how she treats me, someone who did support her and someone who invested in her. Reviews are very important. They're very powerful. It's a part of business, and it gives you an idea of who you're dealing with and what the quality of the service or the product is like. You know, you're not gonna go to a surgeon or the dentist or any other place of business without looking at the reviews. You know, that's something that most people want to see. because they want to know if it's worth spending their money at that place of business. And I would say that it's not worth spending money to be in Lilith's private Facebook group, or spending money on her book club. I mean, I also bought her manifesto too. I think I mentioned that earlier, and it was all right. It seemed like more of a dictionary. She was just giving a lot of definitions to a bunch of words, but I think a lot of you are better off applying the information from her free public space, which is her TikTok and her Facebook. And just apply the information. Take everything with a grain of salt. Take what applies. And that's pretty much it. And before I go, I wanted to say that if you are looking at someone's business and you don't see any reviews, be very careful. Because you don't really know who you're dealing with, and you don't really know if their service is good or if their product is good. You kind of just taking risks, right? You want to make sure that you are looking at the reviews of any business that you're thinking about supporting. So I will leave you with that. I hope that this has helped you decide whether or not you really want to invest. If you still want to, go right ahead. It's totally up to you. This is just my review and my experience. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.